4-0 win. Our first preseason win so far, and there was some very good performances, especially in the first half. Second half, I'll be honest, I fell asleep. I don't know about you guys. So we got that to talk about today. We've got Doucouré update, the price tag. As you guys can see from the title, reportedly Palace want a minimum of 70 to 80 million pounds. But what does this exactly mean? Is there a bigger meaning behind this on whether Palace are actually willing to sell him in the first place due to the price tag? And also, Mark Guéhi, rumoured to be linked once again with his previous club due to injuries and more. Let's get started with Palace news. People, what's going on, people? Welcome to Live Palace News. I'm joined by Patrick here to discuss all the latest that's been going on with Palace. Of course, as I said, we've got a game on the agenda as well as the latest reports around Palace. As always, people, if you can just smash the like button and subscribe if you're new here, that would be much appreciated. We've been doing well with the likes. We've been reaching around 100 likes per video. So if you can keep that up, that'd be fantastic. That's what I ask for, nothing more. And as always, we want to hear from you. So make sure to contribute in the live comment section and in the comment section down below if you're watching it on replay. Patrick, you're looking younger every time you come on the stream. You sound What's going on, man? How you been?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. What top are you wearing today? Last time it was LA Galaxy.
No, it's just a regular Adidas. Sorry, Adidas.
Oh, just a generic top.
Just regular. Yeah, generic.
Yeah,
I'm not wearing nothing Palace until the season starts. I told you already.
Hey! You might have to wear the Champions League sleeve if we play like that. I guess after what we saw against Crawley Town. No, I'm only joking.
League 2. Yeah, quality.
Well, look, it seemed like some players have found the level though. That was positive to see, wasn't it?
That is true. Very true. I can't argue that. Very true.
No. All jokes aside, look, let's talk about the Crawley win. Of course, a 4-0 win. Against a lower league side, there's no denying about that. But look, we faced Barnet and we did struggle as well at the start of preseason. So it seemed like we're getting fitter. Seemed like some of these players that were playing well from last season, they're carrying on their form. Eze, which was very good to see with goals and assists from him as well today. But for you, Patrick, how do you sum up the game? For me, first half, exciting, especially after the first 5 minutes. That's when Palace were just the best I've seen from Palace. But second half, with all due respect, I don't know about you, but I lasted about 10 minutes, I would say, before I fell asleep. It was literally just boring. It was genuinely so boring in the second half. But what do you make of it?
Well, first, I credit to Eze, absolutely. In that free roll out wide left, he's definitely thriving. It's league to opposition, but you can only beat who they put in front of you, and he played very well today. Credit to Mateta also. People kill him all the time, but he scored 2 goals today, so you can't really kill a guy who actually scores 2 goals. And here we come with the comments, exactly, League 2 level. But those two aside, I really, really like the following 3 players. I got one, Ahamada. For me, and I said it last year when we signed him, I told you how much I liked him. He's got to play this year. And I'm not talking about no sub nonsense. Either he plays wide right, which I don't like, but I take that at the beginning of the season with Elisa out, or he plays in the midfield 3. I'm telling you right now, that kid is talented. And I like about him, he's flexible. You know, he can play out wide, right, or inside. Ahmad has to play. So we'll get into him later on, more detail possibly. Jacob Bryan, loved him back there. Played 90 minutes, looked comfortable on the ball, never looked out of place, played on the right side. Chris Richards, by the way, on the left side, looked, again, League 2, but they were never bothered the entire match, played really well together. It was really good to see them. It's a shame that we won't see O'Brien this season. He's bound to go out on loan, but I'd love to have seen him play more this season. And last week is Gyro. Now, I bring up Gyro because I heard you talking to, I guess it was, who are you talking? AJ, about the left back situation. So clearly, under Hodgson likes Gyro. And I love Gyro in midfield, but there's no space for him in midfield. So under Hodgson, he actually played really well at left back, but he's not your traditional left back. You know, he's not. But he reminds me, listen, before people get in the chat and kill me, I'm not comparing him to these 2 players, but I'm just saying he plays like an inverted left fullback, the way that Trent Alexander-Arnold plays it and Zinchenko play it, meaning that they'll have more midfield capabilities in them because they've been midfield in their prior lives, but they're more playing fullback now. And if he can do that at Palace, we have a different style, but a definite left back option for Tyreek. I don't love the idea, but watching him today, and I watched him at the end of the last game, I like him at left back because, again, he's got great control. He put a couple of nice slide tackles in there. He controls the ball. He looks to get the ball forward, looks out wide. I love Gyro at left back under Roy because he looks different. Again, it's not a long-term option, but I like that. So those 3 players today for me: Gyro, Ahamada, and O'Brien stood out. I mean, obviously Isaiah and Mateta, but they were very good today.
Yeah, let's talk about Ahamada because you made a very interesting point there. You said that Ahamada needs to contribute, and you're not talking about coming off the bench. So realistically, let's say if everyone's fit, do you see Ahamada starting in the midfield area? Because as you said, you don't see him as a wide option. And I was actually thinking about that while I was watching him. Do you think it could be a case of Ahamada gets a nod over the likes of maybe Lerma because he had more preseason games and Roy's seen him a bit more, considering not just preseason, based on what Roy saw of him when he joined the club as well. It's not like this is the first time Roy's seen him. Do you think that could be a possibility? Because I feel like by the game, I said it from the first or second game, his technical ability is amazing. It looks brilliant, and the way he navigates. We watch football for a long time to know when you can spot a player. With Ahamada, there is something in him. 100%, there is. I'm not even talking about preseason games, but do you see a scenario where Ahamada actually does start games and it's not out wide, whereas it's in the center? Well,
we'll go to this comment first. 100% for me. Ahamada over Hughes all day, every day, but that's not an option. But Mukhtar, I agree with that comment. But for me, like I just said, he played out wide today. Let him play out wide. Let Jordan Ayew either play on the other side with no Wilf, or let Jordan Ayew come off the bench. For me, at the start of the season, again, it's only because Elise is injured. And Raksaki, to me, is a better off-the-bench option. I would start him out wide right. But I would have no problem with Doucouré, Eze, and Ahamada in the midfield 3. None. That's nothing against Jefferson Lerma. I haven't seen him play this preseason. I've seen him play, obviously, in Premier League, and he's very, very good. Don't get me wrong. He's got that little gastroenteritis, so he's feeling sick. He's going to ease back in. If it's Lerma and he plays really well, then obviously you leave it at Lerma. My point is he's a viable option. Don't give me this nonsense of 2 minutes end of the game on the bench not playing. Ahamada D has to feature this season. He's got to play. We've got 2 spots available, wide right or midfield. Get him in there somewhere is my point.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because Roy actually spoke about yesterday on yesterday's Palace News. He spoke about his quotes.
I heard it.
And what he said about the midfield being strong. So he does have a point. But does that mean maybe we see less of the likes of Jefferson Lerma than we expected? Because Ahamada, I think, has shocked everyone. I don't think a single person is out there that saw Ahamada playing as he has done this preseason. I'll be honest, some people actually forgot about Ahamada. And
Not
the
me,
fact that it's
but
come out this
right.
preseason. Yeah, the fact that it's come out this preseason has shocked a lot of people. But let us know what you guys think about Ahamada so far this preseason. Do you think he could be completing that midfield 3 and taking Lerma's spot? Let us know in the comment section. I'll go through some of the comments right now as well. There was one from Tim asking a question. So yeah, we basically answered that. What's your read on Ahamada? We like him a lot. He looks very good on the ball, especially. Got a goal today as well. Yeah, I still think Hughes can be a super sub. Just need to convince Roy to use the bench earlier. I mean, you want these quality, you want this headache, right, Patrick? I think that's a positive. I think the midfield is now sorted.
Yes. See, agreed. You want the headache of selection headache, but you also want Roy to make proactive subs. So obviously, if Ahamada is having a poor game, you've got Lerma. If Doucouré is having a poor game, you have Hughes. Do you know what I mean? You need options. What Roy doesn't do is he doesn't use the options that he has. And if you're telling me you're not going to start Hughes, Jeffrey Schlupp, Jordan Ayew, to me they're good options off the bench. They're veterans. They're calm. They can inspire. They can contribute at the end of matches to either see out a game or maybe get us a goal late. So 100%. But yeah, I mean, I have no issue. But again, to have the options and not use them is like not having them at all. And that's what I have a problem with, is that I want to see the options used. If it's used off the bench, fine. If it's Schlupp, if it's Ahamada, but use them because, to me, the key to Patrick season is not necessarily the signing, which we're not going to make. It's what we do have, use our resources. So, sounds stupid, but Ahamada to me is like a new signing. We didn't use him last year at all. So you add him and Lerma, midfield set, right? Or even out wide. So can we find Raksaki or an Ebowie or a Plan to kind of fill in areas where we're also lacking? Because clearly, listen, man, I love you guys. I love you. I love AJ. I love T. I don't know how you guys are doing transfer rumor shows because there's nothing happening about this, but you know what I mean? Use what we have and go from there. So
Exactly. Yeah. We'll be talking about rumors. Trust me, you're part of it as well now. You've been sucked into it today. I use the Crawley thing as a getaway, but you trust me, there is some interesting news today about rumors about I'll be honest, it's about players outgoing rather than incoming. So
exactly. Outgoing,
yeah,
brilliant. That's what we need.
Exactly. That's what it's at with Palace right now. But before we move on from the Crawley game, because I'm actually happy this game is over, because I don't know if you saw it as well, Patrick. Roy said it before this game, how from Watford onwards, then you're going to see more of the players that you're expected to see in the league. So it's going to be more of basically like tactical work, which we haven't seen so far. So far, it's been like fitness. Yeah, well, so far it's been like fitness. He said I've rotated a few of the youngsters, but for example, there was a question asked about Jefferson Lerma. When will we see him? He said Watford, and he also mentioned like that's when we're going to see more of these players. Some of these players that haven't featured yet, the international players in the Watford game onwards. So that's when I think we're going to get serious about tactics and stuff. But still, it was very good today. But one player that I want to talk about, Eze, and it's very early. But what is your expected goals and assists for Eze next season? If he continues the form that he did under Roy towards the end of the season, what do you think should be the objective?
I'm not that guy. You're not getting that. You're not getting that. That's a ridiculous question. I'm not getting that. I have no idea. How would I know? I have no idea.
What do you expect? No, it's not. I'm not telling you to tell me the figure. It's what do you expect from him now? Because he's had a bit of Premier League experience now. Yes, he's had injuries. He knows what to expect from Roy as well. So for Eze to continue to be selected in the England squad as well as improve, how many goals and assists are you expecting from him? Because once again, I know he's against Crawley, but I'm just looking at the goals and assists, and I'm thinking about what happened in the last 10 games of the season. How many goals and assists do you think Eze needs to get?
I don't have any idea, but I think what he has to do is continue the form he had in the last 10 games under Roy. Anything short of that doesn't get English squad again. So for me, he got to continue what he did. But again, it was against teams that weren't great at the end of the season. 3 of them got relegated. So he's got to do what he did last season for sure. Those numbers that he had towards the end of the season, if he could double them over the course of the rest of the season, that's another 28 games. But again, I don't have a number in my head because I'm not big on trying to figure out how many goals and assists players get. That's not me. I mean, I just don't play that
but
game.
you were big on. I remember last pre-season, you were big on making bets about Chris Richards making apperances. So you're not that bad of numbers yet.
You know what? And to my credit, I lost a bet and I still owe you a shirt, which I'd be happy to send to you. Listen, I don't back up my bets. I made that bet, and you know what? Without the injuries, he would have made those appearances because you can see how good he is. Let's be honest. He can play. But again, I lost that bet. Clearly I did, and I'd be happy to send you your shirt. In fact, when I come over in December, I'm going to get you one from the club shop that day.
All right,
that's a bet. I'll meet you there before, and I'll put your name on the back. I'll put D-E-E on the back.
Yeah. Done. Fair enough. But if you do have questions, I'm just gonna bring this up on the screen, and we'll answer it at the end. Just put a Q, just like CPFC Jordan has, and then we'll answer it towards the end of the show after we go through all the stuff that's on the agenda already, people. So don't worry about it. Just put a Q so I don't miss your question. But look, positive result today. First half better than the second half. And we're stepping in the right direction. Now I'm getting excited because we've got Watford coming up. And based on what Roy said, I think things are going to get a bit more clear about what players could get, opportunities. Today, once again, Raksaki, Ozo came off the bench. So that's positive to see. Roy still hasn't, put them aside. He's still got them in consideration. But against Watford, does he still do the same? If he does, then I think we can ask bigger questions, such as, does Ozo and Raksaki have a potential to play in the squad next season? Or, would they be pushed down to the academy or go out on loan? So I think that would be interesting against Watford. But look, today, positive result. We got our first win. That's what we had to do, and then we move on. Now, let's talk about what's on the agenda with transfers. I know you love this, Patrick. You message me every single day, sending me all the reports and all the articles about players that's incoming and outgoing.
That's not me. That would be
Stan. Yeah, that is 100% Patrick.
Patrick
is
AJ.
Yeah.
And T. You can I can screenshot our WhatsApp group, and you will not see barely any comments from me about transfers in our chat. I ignore them. So, and that's true. Fair
enough. Well, I got you here to talk about them. You don't need to type it out. You can just spit it out right now. Exactly.
We done with Crawley? We done with the Crawley?
What else? Do you want to talk anything about Crawley?
Do you want to give Mateta some props for the 2 goals? Score with a header. And you can't head the ball. Remember, you can't head the ball. Can we give him a little credit?
All right.
League
well done to Mateta for scoring a goal.
Yeah.
The reason why I didn't want to bring it up is I'm not going to get into the conversations of is Mateta back or
never said he was back. I just said give him credit. All I want to do is when players play well, give them credit. Forget the opposition.
Yeah,
Eze was
played
great
well,
today,
yeah.
by the way. Goal and 2 assists. So we got to give Mateta credit. But I'm not back. I never said he was back, bro. I'm not saying that.
No. I know if we start
doing
talking about Mateta, I know there'll be like 1 or 2 people saying, you know what, maybe we don't play to his strengths or something like that. And I just can't be bothered to debate about
it raises his transfer value, right? We can get more money for him.
Exactly. When I was scoring them goals, I was like, money's going up. Hopefully, that's all I care about.
Or
At
confidence
least,
growth. Something, get some positive out of it. I don't know, either confidence or we get more money. Either way, some got to give on that guy. So hopefully, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, 100%. Look, people, if you're enjoying the stream, there's nearly about 100 of you here. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. That's all I ask for. It takes a second of your time. Let's move on to the. Yes, Mateta back. Yeah, I'm gonna put you on timeout.
Love it. Check.
Yeah, exactly.
Doucouré too. Because about you in a second too. That's perfect time.
Yeah, Doucouré is fantastic. Yeah, Doucouré is fantastic. But we'll talk about Doucouré. I'm gonna merge the Doucouré conversation into the transfers because Doucouré has been on the agenda, right? Even though you don't like it, he's been it's Patrick Mateta's agent. I don't know. I don't know.
Could be.
If he is, then I think even his agent's given up. So it's not really a good sign, is it?
That is true. Good
so
point.
Hopefully he's got a former Mateta's stake. But look, let's talk about Cheikh Doucouré, people. And of course, as you guys have seen from the past few days, he's been of interest to the likes of Liverpool. And the price tag hasn't been clear. We've been debating it. Even yesterday, we spoke about it. What should be Cheikh Doucouré's price tag? I said if we want to realistically sell Doucouré, £60 million, I don't think he's reached levels of Caicedo or Declan Rice yet in terms of value and the hype. So I think £60 million is the highest we probably can get to sell Doucouré if we want to sell him and invest that money in. But if we don't want to sell him, then you put a price tag of 70 to 80 million pound. Now, what do Palace go and do? It seemed like it's 70 to 80 million pound, which is going to be interesting debate. According to the Daily Mail, Liverpool are yet to make an approach for Doucouré, but Palace are now bracing themselves for an inquiry. Crystal Palace will place a minimum of 70 to 80 million pound valuation on the midfielder Cheikh Doucouré. Patrick, talk to me. Do you agree with my points about, 60 million pound will most likely, be realistic to sell Doucouré, but 70 to 80 million pound, you're probably scaring teams away. Do you think the club are not just trying to sell Doucouré? Because I don't have the same feeling about Guéhi and Anderson. I think they want to keep Guéhi and Anderson. Don't get me wrong, but I think the price tag for Guéhi and Anderson is more realistic than for Cheikh Doucouré. I feel like we're actually scared about losing Doucouré, whereas Guéhi and Anderson, we've been linked with Purchase, so we've had a defender, linked in the background. So I think we're a bit more confident if we was to lose them. But Doucouré, I don't get the same vibes. What do you think?
I think to sell Doucouré 1 year after buying him would be a serious lack of intent on the club. But I've already thought that about us anyway. I think that's a crazy thing to even consider. Now, what I will say is I watched a Liverpool podcast before we came on. Liverpool journalists, and actually they were looking at him when he was in France last year. This is not new. They've actually looked at him before, and they feel now that he'd be a great target because he's got the Premier League experience. Now, whether they'll put a bid in or not, who knows? If I'm Cheikh Doucouré, though, if Liverpool come in for me, I'm out of here. I'm going to be totally honest. If I'm the player, you've got to go to Liverpool. As much as I would absolutely hate to lose him, if they come in for him on a serious bid, he's not going. There's no way he stays. There's no way he stays.
What's the serious bid?
Huh?
What's the serious bid?
60, 70 million.
Do you reckon they'll come in for him for that much? Do you really?
I don't know, because apparently they've gone back to look at Lavia from Southampton.
Yeah.
Because apparently Man City are not going to do that buyback, the option they have, and if they don't do it this season, it expires. So I love Doucouré. I think Lavia is better than Doucouré. He's younger by a few years, but I mean, we could.
Yeah, I think Lavia, he's got more potential. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think if we're being realistic.
So I mean that again, 60-70. But again, this is the thing. I will give credit to Pat. We don't sell our best player. We have never done it in the 10 years of the Premier League. Wan-Bissaka, Balassi aside, we don't sell them. We don't sell our best players. So why would we start doing it now? That would show a serious lack of intent. But with our board, who knows? And if it's to sell to raise money, that's also worrying for me. But I just hope that all the rumors that are out. That's why I don't pay attention to any of them. I hope this one is as useless as the Guéhi one, the Anderson one, the Eze one, the Elise to Aston Villa one, whatever else is going out there. I just don't care. Just let this stupid thing be over, the transfer thing be over.
So do you think that Palace are not willing to sell Doucouré? And the reason why I say that, as
How could
I
they be willing? They
mentioned,
got to be unwilling. How could they willing to sell a player they bought a year ago?
okay, but
and
then,
we
okay,
can't
but not
replace
willing.
him?
I think willing is a wrong word to use. But for example,
ahead.
Guéhi and Anderson, they got price tag, right? And their price
Right.
tag seems a bit more realistic if reports were to be true. It seems like there's a price there. And if you meet it, we might be okay with selling him. But with the feeling about Doucouré, I just don't get any type of feeling that we are happy with selling, even if it's 70 to 80 million pound. I don't think we want to do it. That's why I think that price tag is put there, because I don't see teams paying that. Do you think that's the case?
Again, I can only base it on history that we don't sell our best players. But this current board is not moving the way our, at least in the past we've gone out and we've bought players. We have bought in one player a month into the transfer market, and it was on a free before we even had a manager named. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. I mean, I get the Guéhi and stuff like you just said. We've got potentially a backup in Pierre Sherb. We also have obviously Chris Richards already on the squad, so we could lose one of those two and not be disastrous. And again, I get their ambition to want to go to bigger clubs like Newcastle or Chelsea or whomever, Arsenal or Tottenham, whatever. I just don't. I can't figure our board out this year. I'm not lying. I cannot figure out what we're doing, because what we're doing doesn't make any sense. We talk about having ambition, talk about top 10, and then we don't do anything. That makes no sense. We talk about top 10 ambition. Yeah, we don't acquire any player besides one player. It doesn't make it's just weird. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah. What about this? I think this is an interesting question from Law. He says, if they take Doucouré, we take Lavia. Would you be okay with a scenario like that?
Oh, come on. Of course I do that. I mean, in a heartbeat.
You'll do that right now?
100%. But we're not going to do that. You just say got more potential than Doucouré. They're about a year difference. Maybe I think Doucouré is 23. I think Lavia is 21. But Lavia's not coming to Palace. But he's looking at going to Liverpool or Arsenal. He's going to come to Palace. Let's be realistic. It doesn't make. I mean, I like the LOL at the end because it is funny. Would I take him? Of course I would. Would he come to Palace? Lavia? Guy just got relegated. Don't get relegated again, bro. I mean, seriously.
Exactly. Hey, I don't. Let's not get there.
On your TV, and it's gonna look bad.
I mean, we just get the cliche and beat Crawley 4-0. So I don't know. We'll talk about relegation right now.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, exactly.
My bad.
Tim
levels to this conversation. Levels.
Tim says, fact, Doucouré was 77 tackles last year. Rice, £100 million player, had 79. I'll be honest though, I disagree with Tim there. I don't think it's straightforward as just tackles. Of course, there's other elements to it as well, but Rice has that English tax. And also with players, I truly believe this hype matters. I don't think Doucouré has reached that hype yet. Caicedo has, Rice has, and Doucouré isn't on the same wavelength. I'll still talk to Liverpool fans today. I'll talk to other fans from other top six clubs, including, excluding West Ham because they're not top six, or Wolves. And none of them really rate Doucouré on that level. They laugh right now at £70 million price tag. So I don't think Doucouré has reached that hype yet. I think next season his reputation is going to increase, because I'm expecting a bigger and better season from Doucouré with the players around him.
I agree, Dee. But like I said, Liverpool were already tracking him in France. So they know him. They've done their research on him. So it's not like out of the boot. Okay, let's look at DMs in the Premier League. Oh, Liverpool, Palace have Doucouré. No, they actually research him and they scouted him in France. And now that he's in the Premier League, they know more about him. So that's my only worry. But it's not about other people rate him. I don't care what fans think about our players, because our fans don't know our players. They don't watch our team. So you know what I mean? So
exactly, yeah, 100%. They laugh at Guéhi. Everyone's price tag, so I'm happy. Laugh. Hopefully your clubs are laughing as well.
Exactly,
and they're scared to buy them. I'll be happy with them for another season. Look, let's move on to the next bit of rumor. But as always, people, let us know your thoughts on the Check Doucouré rumor. 70 to 80 million pound. Is that a sign from Palace that they're just saying no, we're not willing to sell it, but they just put price tag there for the sake of it? Because realistically, I don't see not Liverpool, or he's also linked with PSG as well today. I don't see any club paying that type of money for Check Doucouré, in all honesty. I think he's a quality player, but I don't think 70 to 80 million pound is realistic after one season if you put everything into consideration. Let us know what you guys think on that. Now, let's move on to the second set of rumor, another outgoing one, another massive player. And this is according to The Guardian, is that Mark Guéhi is on Chelsea's shortlist as they consider to sign a defender following Wesley Fofana's injury. That'd be funny though, Patrick, wouldn't it? I mean, they sold him for £20 million, and then they ended up buying him back from Palace for like £60 million. What do you make of Guéhi as a replacement for Fofana? Surely not.
It actually makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Had Fofana not been injured, I would say no chance, makes no sense. But he's from Chelsea. They know him very well. Plays for England. They know, it makes I don't know what I don't. Again, the only thing I question I have is what exactly is the? It's not. Is it a? Is it like Lavi? Is it a buyback? Is it first refusal? I don't know. They have an option on him. I don't know what it is. Right.
So I was thinking about that because what.
Right.
So what tends to happen? There's also like profit on. You get a percentage on profit on next sale. Like
it's not that. It's they have the right to match. It's like Lavi. They have a right to match anybody who wants to buy him. It's not a buyback option. So it's not if let's say we want to sell him to United for 50 million, they could say, no, we have the right to buy him for 50 million. That's what it is. So in this case, it's not right. So in this case, I don't know how this works because it's not. It's going back to the same company we bought him from. So it's weird. I don't know how this works.
So if no one else is bidding, then I don't think that thing matters.
It won't matter. So my point, we can sell him for as much as we want. But as far as it making sense, it does because they're very light at centre half now. I mean, they had the player go to Saudi, right? The captain of Senegal, Koulibaly went to Saudi.
Yeah.
Chalobah's probably is on the way out. Silva's 38 years old. They've got Badiashile, who's very, very good.
Levi Colwell's going to fit there. That's the thing. That's the biggest question mark about it.
That's the wild card.
That's a positive.
Colwell. It's a great point. Colwell still being there, not being sold. Colwell to me could fill in obviously for
Fofana.
Fofana, right? So that's why it doesn't make it. But it's a great point. I forgot that Colwell's been rumored to leave and wants to leave.
They're not selling him.
There's a massive spot there. Right? Why would you leave now? They can't sell him now.
So what would this mean for Guéhi? Is he just being considered as like a backup option to the starters that they have right now? I don't think this makes sense for Guéhi's perspective.
I think he'd start. No, he's better than Colwell. I mean, he's more experienced. He's better than Colwell.
It's debatable. I think both of them will be very good together. I think they're very good centre halves,
and that could be an option too.
But then again, Levi Colwell, would he want to sit on the bench? Do you get? They're too good of players to just sit on the bench. Like you need to have a bit of a gap at least, and right now, it just doesn't make any sense for either one of them to sit on the bench. You rather go for maybe more experienced, younger defender. I don't see why Chelsea will pay about £60 million for a defender, which is not going to start every week in, week out. Like someone loses out, and whoever loses out, it doesn't make any sense why they would lose out because they're quality.
I know what you're saying about Colwell, and I respect him a lot. I watched him in under-21s European. He was really good. Guéhi's better than him right now. He just is. Guéhi won the World Cup under-17s 6 years ago. He's captain Palace. He's in the England squad now. Colwell's not in the England squad now. Guéhi's better than Colwell right now, but you're absolutely right. Colwell's not going to want to stay on the bench. So if they buy Guéhi back, Colwell's leaving. So we got to look out for that. Watch out. Forget about the Fofana injury, which is big. If they sell Colwell, they're going to come in for Guéhi, in my opinion, because there really isn't anybody out there I can think of, and this is a European centre-half out there that's really good that they would go in for. So watch this space. But I think Colwell, to me, is going to want to play. You're right, but listen, you just said it. Guéhi and Colwell could probably play together. That's a brilliant centre-half duo. I mean,
what does that mean for Badiashile? Do you get it? Like, do you get my point?
Right now he's injured. So it's not. But
I don't know. It'll be interesting. People are saying this, and I don't. Why we go back to Conor Gallagher? Why? Mukhtar said it. It's not only Mukhtar, by the way. Others have said as well. Could we sort of mark for Gallagher? By the way, and some people said like if Doucouré was to go, that means Gallagher could come back. They're two different players. Gallagher's not a Doucouré-esque player.
When is that going to end? When is that going to? Is it ever going to end?
I mean, it ends if he actually leaves to join another club apart from Chelsea. I think
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. If he goes to Newcastle, we're going to say, when he's not playing there, he should come to Palace. It's never going to end. It's like, I get it because he was really good for us, but he's not coming back to Palace. He's not coming back. So I just think it's funny people keep. And
I'll be honest. I was a massive fan of Gallagher, but I don't know if he fits. It was under Vieira. Like the type of football it suited him. He's a system player. It's done now. Vieira's not here. Vieira's at another club. We got another manager. Like it's a new scenario, new setup. We got players as well. Gallagher just doesn't make any sense. If we were to bring in someone, it shouldn't be a midfielder. That's the last option. We literally spoke about midfielders not too long ago. Exactly, right back striker. There's other positions, depth options that we can improve on. Look, midfielder sorted. And Conor Gallagher, with all due respect, I don't want him at Palace at this current moment of time. He's a system player. I'm not saying he's bad, but he has to fit to the system for it to work. And it's simple as that. With Vieira, it did, but I don't know if he will with Roy Hodgson because we had the option of bringing in Conor Gallagher. Remember when he was at West Brom, or he went to West Brom and we brought in Batshuayi instead. I don't know if you remember that, Patrick, but we had an option.
Now, yeah, but everybody keeps saying it. Did he want to come to Palace or did he choose to go to West Brom? What was it? Was Batshuayi or him?
I think I think we chose Batshuayi over Conor Gallagher.
Okay. Well, that was a good idea. Not
exactly, but I don't think Conor Gallagher wanted to go West Brom and play like
and get relegated.
I don't think that was the case.
Probably
exactly.
Not, right.
So yeah. So I don't think that was the case. But look, people, if you have any questions, as others have been doing, put the Q before your question so we can answer it. Right about now, because we're entering towards the end of the show. We've gone through all the rumors. We spoke about Crawley as well. If you're just joining us now, make sure to go to the start of the stream to catch up on everything and leave a like and subscribe. What was that comment there that you picked up, Patrick? That you
about
put
Gallagher.
On the screen?
What was it?
What was it saying?
Oh, I gotta go find it. Sorry.
I see one from Jude saying, "I love Gallagher, but it's over. We need to move on. Simple." Is that it?
That was it. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that as well. And Crane, just end off on Gallagher. Gallagher was a press monster for us. We lacked that last season, but it's time to move on. And I think that sums it up perfectly.
How about this? How about this? This is even better. Mitch Blank, I agree with
Gallagher word from the stream.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. Because this is a place, as I've always said, people, this is a place where you can have. It's a half of Palace fans. So whatever your opinion is, if you want Gallagher, if you don't want Gallagher, feel free to say it. Unfortunately, I can't ban the word, but there's always going to be some people that mention Gallagher and they still want him back. But it is what it is. Everyone's got the right of opinion. Let's see with the questions now. Yeah, let's go through some of the questions. So there's a question earlier on from Graham. He says, "Hey D, what do you think about Reece Nelson?" Well, I would have loved him to be Zaha's replacement out of all the names, but that's not going to happen because he signed another contract. I think that's pretty much answered there. Let's move on to the next question from Crane, who asks, "After 3 preseason games now, Raksaki more ready than Eberechi? You reckon, Patrick?" I think for me, that's always been the case, kind of. I've rated Raksaki more than Eberechi, even though Eberechi has got quality. Do you think that is also the case in terms of the pecking order, what Roy sees of things?
I don't see that yet. I haven't seen enough of either during preseason to rate either one. I personally rate them about the same right now. Raksaki was at a lower League One loan last year, did very, very well. Eberechi was at a Championship loan and didn't do anything for Hull. But right now, this preseason, I know Raksaki had the goal, obviously, against Bromby, but I haven't really seen enough of either one of them. I didn't see Raksaki do much today. I didn't mention him before. So, and Eberechi didn't come on. Did Eberechi come on? No, Eberechi definitely didn't come on today. So, right now, it's hard to kind of tell.
Yeah. CPFC Jordan says, "Is Eze in his last year or last 2 years?" So realistically, 2 years.
Got 2 years.
You reckon? I think we're trying to build around Eze. Eze being the one that we haven't really heard about other interest. There'll probably be other interests.
No, I meant contract wise. I think he 2 years. I mean,
talk about contract wise.
Yeah. This can't be his last year. That would be.
Yeah.
If he's his last year,
it's last 2 years.
Yeah.
I remember from the Athletic, Matt Wisdom spoke about it.
Right.
And I remember talking about on Palace News as well about, Palace need to make a decision because you don't want his contract to run out and eventually leave on the free as well. So
last year.
So I think the contract talks need to start basically from now onwards.
I agree.
That's pretty much it with Eze. So hopefully,
and you're right. Build around him. You're right. Build the side around him for sure.
100%. Tim says, which is your 1 to 3 youngsters you want to see in the squad this season based on what you've seen so far this preseason? We haven't even seen that many youngsters, but the youngsters that I've seen, Jake O'Brien,
Raksaki,
Ozo, and Raksaki. That's the 3. Any other youngsters? We haven't seen anyone else really. That's it, right?
Unfortunately, they sent Plange and Banks over here to America for that MLS Next tournament, which disappointed me. I want to see more Banks. So you're right. Those are the 3, and Phillips also is over here too. So disappointing, but yeah, I think you named the right 3: O'Brien, Ozo, Raksaki. They had to be in the squad this year. They won't be all 3, but hopefully they'll be in the squad this season.
Yeah. The Bear says, "Is Scott Banks off due to not being in the squad today?"
Again, he's in America. He's in America.
Oh yeah. So and also I feel like with some of these players we're going to see less and less of them from Saturday onwards as well. I feel like the squad is going to gel, and the players that Roy doesn't rate as much, I don't think they're going to be involved. So yeah, Scott Banks is over in America, and there's a way to check that out. How is it, Patrick? There's a link for that. Right?
Well, okay. So if you're in England, most of you are. The games are in Utah, which I believe is about 3-4 hours difference from New York. So we're talking about watching games 3:30 in the morning. UK time, which no one's going
Under
to do that.
21s. Palace under 21s.
Under 21. I mean, I'm just saying. Listen, it's 10 o'clock my time, so it's going to be again at least 3 o'clock in the morning. But again,
your time.
if you're a real Palace fan, you'll watch. Let's be honest. Come on.
If you're plastic, you'll be asleep at 2-3 a.m. So
I'm watching all of the matches. So I'll be happy to report back on them. So I'll be watching.
So yeah. If you're sleeping at 2-3 a.m. tonight, then you're absolute plastic fan. It doesn't matter what you think because you haven't watched under 21s.
I want to say D is a massive basketball fan. He will stay up to watch the Spurs 2-3 in the morning his time. So he'll be up. He's done it before. He's done it for basketball. So I no less for Palace.
I'll see. For Palace under 21s. Well, soon I'm gonna have to stay up at 1 or 2 a.m. for Palace anyway. So that's gonna happen
next week, right? For the Chicago game.
Next week. Yeah.
And
maybe you might do. I don't know. I'm by myself right now, so I might do like a watch along or something.
Look at this, Tim. Look at this, Tim.
What was that?
Same time as me, Patrick. Mountain time -7. Oh, okay. So it's 7 hours. Yeah, 7 hours difference.
Jeez, yeah. Well, I'll be up at 3 a.m. watch under 21s because they ain't plastic like you lot. Yeah. I'm only joking.
One note. I want to add one thing today. There was a player that came on second half, who I highly rate, but he's very
youngster.
young. He's a right back. Yeah, Finley Marjoram. He came on late for Ward. I watched him play a lot. Unfortunately, he was injured last year. He was a centre half, but they converted him to right back, which I think is a brilliant move. He's got a big future. I really hope. Now, he's not going to play this year, but I hope in a couple of years, if he stays at Paris, he can play our future right back. He's very, very good. Very quick. He came out of somebody else's academy. I want to say Arsenal. He wasn't out of Palace's academy originally. He came to Palace a couple of years ago. Fast, tall, quick, skillful, overlapping type, attacking type right back. So hopefully, only 18, very young. So, I mean, we'll see. But look, keep your eye out for Finley Marjoram.
I definitely will do as well. Interesting that he didn't go out on top. Well, he's still young anyway, so it's like under 21 to all right. So, but yeah, unfortunately, we won't see him over in America. I guess that's the one downside about it.
Yeah.
CBFC Jordan says, "Would you take Colwell plus 30-40 million pound for Guéhi?" 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think someone was upset about me saying Guéhi's not better than Colwell. I think they're very close to each other.
There's opinions, though. It's fine. It's opinion. That's fine.
Yeah. I think Guéhi and Colwell. I think Colwell is a brilliant. I was thinking about that the other day. Imagine Colwell and Guéhi as back line. That could be the future England back line.
For England, exactly. That's brilliant.
Exactly. Yeah, they're both like incredibly talented.
Let me answer this question right now for Doucoure. I'm sorry, Lou. Right now it is 5 after 6 in the evening for me.
So still early. You have
5 hour difference. 5 hour difference. Yeah.
You haven't had dinner time yet, or lunchtime, or tea time.
No,
what do you call it? Do you call it tea?
We call it dinner, mate. Dinner.
Yeah, I call it dinner as well.
I drink tea.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I discovered that the other day. So people actually, they say I'm having tea. They're not actually having tea.
No, they're having dinner.
Why?
Very English term. It's a very English.
Well, you invented that. That's not
an Englishman. It's Englishman.
Yeah, but dinner's dinner. Tea is tea. Like, I thought all this time people are having tea with their families, but they're having dinner. I just didn't know. I thought it was just... Yeah, anyways, it's a disappointment. I saw that the other day. Anyways, we went off track. Jude saying, what are your thoughts on Franco now? It's looking like the deal is done.
What deal is done? What?
It seemed like it's closing in. It's not done. Yeah, but reports over in Brazil today, Patrick suggesting that there's conflicting reports. Some are saying it's basically complete. Others are saying it's not. But Franco...
What do you believe in? The one that you believe that it's complete or the one that's not complete?
I don't think it's complete yet. I think it's probably close, advancing, but I don't think it's complete yet. Franco, Patrick, I think just like Hamada, I think he's got ability, and I think we're going to try to use that ability and find a position for him. But then again, it's weird. I said this before. I would like Franco, don't get me wrong, but he hasn't done, like, he hasn't destroyed the Brazilian league. I'm not saying he has to destroy the Brazilian league. So it's interesting from all along. It's a risky approach, 25 million euros, and I'm willing to take it because I think Dougie has earned it due to his transfer previously. I think he, if we're going to gamble on a player and Dougie says do it, then let's do it because his eye for players has been good. But 25 million euros reported fee if it was to get complete. Would you be happy with that?
I don't know. I know nothing about the player. I looked at his stats. He doesn't have any stats. He's 19. He had no goals this season. I'm looking at it right now. Mateus Franca, 1 goal in 9 matches. He's 19.
You get it.
He just turned 19. He's a kid. But I'm with you. I will give. I mean, listen. As much as I'm down on certain people, I'm not really down on Dougie. Dougie doesn't spend the money, doesn't pull the trigger. Dougie does a great job of scouting. He's scouting that kid for at least a year and a half. So if he thinks he's a good player, I'm all for it. But again, I know nothing about the kid. I haven't watched any highlights. I'm not going to do anything until we sign him. I don't do that with players I don't know until we sign him. I'll be on YouTube every day watching highlights of every player that we're linked with. So I only watch them when we actually sign the player.
Yeah,
so
like
I don't know nothing about the kid.
Well, to be fair, this summer's been a bit quiet on that front, so it won't be 500. But Andy says, who's our next captain, Guéhi or Wood? This is a draw for Guéhi. I think Guéhi.
I agree. I'd be for Guéhi.
Do you think Roy could potentially go with Joe Wood due to experience?
Of course he will. Of course he will. I mean, you're funny. You like asking questions you know the answers to.
That's the Patrick I know. That's the Patrick I know. Let's see if there's any other questions right
honesty.
now.
Yeah, guys hate honesty on this show. I see your comments in there, Quarian, by the way. I'm watching your comments, man. Watch I don't block you, bruv.
No, why? What did the Quarian say?
Calling me negative. My honesty is not negative. My honesty is me. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm not a fluff. I don't do what they call. I don't do fluff pieces. If I just want to state my opinion, and if you don't like it, it's fine.
Patrick.
I respect yours. So it is what it is.
Yeah, no, you stand strong with your opinions. Hang on, is D in the UK? Nope. I mean, I'm actually in Antarctica right now.
He's in South London, man. He's where I used to grow up. So he's in the depths of Thornton Heath.
I'm in the depths. So I'm based in the radio for Crystal Palace. That's where I am. Red we bid 30 million euros and 10 million in adults for Franco. I don't think that is true.
That's mad. That's way too much money.
That's 40 million euros.
Like no stats. Yeah. No, you can't do that.
No, I don't think that's true. I think the max will probably go for 25 million euros, which is what they want for him in the first place. I don't think it'll be like 40 million euros. So I don't expect anything to happen. But yeah, look, that's pretty much it. But before we do go, we need to buy more South Americans. Look at Brighton and where they finished last season. Exactly. Look,
I agree.
I agree.
Look, Ecuadorians, they're good.
I said it from before. Look, we have to widen our network, our scouting network, if you want to be successful. That's the reality.
South America.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. I mean, the championship, they have quality players. Don't get me wrong. They do. But realistically, if you're relying on the championship every single summer, you're not going to be able to find it. We went over in France, even Germany with Hamada. I mean, Germany and Mateta as well.
France
so it's been 50-50. But Doucouré, but we have to widen just the whole of Europe.
I love it. I love the shots you take at him for, like under your breath like that. You're so sneaky. I like that. That was good.
No, what did I say?
You're gonna let that go with the Muhammad, but you had to throw Mateta in there.
No, I'm just saying like the transfers.
It's funny to me. But I'm his agent. I gotta defend him. I'm his agent. So
Chris Richards as well. Let me not take a discredit.
Good point. Yes, German. So that's 2 good and 1 not so good.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
That's plus
Scotland, Edwards,
Scott Banks.
Who else? Scott Banks, yeah. But Edward is like the first team player, yeah. So yeah, it's been like Europe basically. We need to widen our approach, and if we got a club over, not we, I always say we. If John Texas has got a club over in South America, then why don't we utilize his scouts and his network there? So hopefully,
I think we are. I think that's where the Franca thing came from because they play in the same league as Botafogo, who, by the way, absolutely killing it in the league. They are so far ahead, and it's a major shock. When they win the league, bruv, when they win that league, man, let me tell you something. Times are changing, bro. Times are changing.
Bro, you're moving like they're going to win the Champions League. With all due respect. I mean, it's over in Brazil. Like,
you can only, again, I'll say it again. You can only win the league that you play in. Molenbeek won the league they played in. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, if Palace win the Premier League, they can't win the Championship, which will be next year, by the way.
Did you hear about what John Texas said about Palace? I didn't see exactly, but did you hear about it? About something about, he listed his clubs and he said also Crystal Palace kind of thing. Like, he's like, oh, and Crystal Palace. And some people took offense to it. But I don't know. I guess a lot of love.
I did see the stuff about Lyon. The Lyon thing is still ongoing.
Something.
But I didn't hear anything negative about Palace. I mean.
Yeah.
Again.
We'll see. Bruno Lage is there as well as a manager, and I saw some people saying
you saw that, right?
Yeah, some people some saying if he does well over there, John Texas promised him a job.
Next Palace manager?
Either Lyon or Palace or something crazy like that. So he's working hard for his.
Bro, wait. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk. You wouldn't take Bruno Lage as your manager next season for Palace, honestly. If he did well in Botafogo, you wouldn't take him.
Nah, because I don't. With all due respect,
I would. over Paddy McCarthy. You wouldn't take him. You know
okay, but
like
that's a different question. You didn't ask me that question. You asked me, would you take Bruno Lage as a manager?
So let me rephrase the question, because we all know, I mean, we can joke about it all we want, right? We all know it's Paddy McCarthy next season, because there's no other plan, right? So in lieu of it being him,
No, but we don't know that. We don't know that.
No, we do. You do.
No, we don't. We don't.
No, you do. You don't want to admit it, but you know that it's him. You know that it's him. Because, okay, who's it going to be next year? If you had, hand to your heart, yeah. Well, who do you think it'll be next year, honestly? I'm taking Paddy McCarthy. I think that's exactly who Parish has lined up. Who do you think it's going to be then?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. You honestly don't think, you don't have any clue?
No, I don't know who will be in a job next summer. I don't know who will be out of a job, so I can't really decide right now.
Bro, we had a chance. Should I go through names again who are available this summer?
I know we had a chance, but maybe next summer we.
It won't be better. It won't be better next summer than it is this summer. It won't be better. Yeah. It won't be better. Yeah. It might be.
But the reason why I wouldn't take Bruno Lage is we saw it at Wolves. Like, we see him in the Premier League. There wasn't nothing really that exciting. You would say it didn't work out at Wolves. So, I'm not going to look at Botafogo.
That's a great point, right? Okay, and I understand that, D. Marco Silva, how was he prior to Fulham? How was he?
He was all right, depending on what Spurs you look at.
Do you rate him now? Because I certainly do.
I wouldn't.
My point is,
I wouldn't go that. I think no. I have to. I said it last year as well. I said it last year. You have to give him massive credit. He's done a fantastic job last season. But I'm not going to change my thoughts on Marco Silva based on one. I think he's done a fantastic job. We'll see what happens this year.
And that's very, very fair. But my point is about Marco Silva is that prior to last year, nobody rated him. Even though they got Fulham promoted. And I'm telling you right now, you're right. It's only 1 year. So you got to be fair. Give him another year. But I'm telling you right now, managers can get better. They can go through
they can.
Time at
Eddie Howe.
And then,
Eddie Howe's proved me wrong. That's one manager I'm going to say. But the reason you get better, and I think this is the thing, and I said this about Patrick Vieira as well, Patrick. I feel like he's got the right philosophies as a manager, but I think he's got a lot to learn as well in a game. And that's why I don't think he should have jumped into another job. You can learn on a job, but I think what Eddie Howe done, Eddie Howe went to Atletico Madrid.
He went away.
Many people don't know about this. He learned from the likes of Simeone. Like, he took a nice little break and he went to top class managers, went to top clubs and saw the setup. And Eddie Howe has 100% improved as a manager, because at Bournemouth, yes, they were playing very good football, but the one thing is, towards the end of time, they got very predictable. He had one approach and they got very predictable. And at the end of it, Bournemouth got relegated. Let's not forget that. And Eddie Howe played a part to it. But one credit that I did give Eddie Howe is that he's still young and he went and learned. And learned. So yes, Bruno Lage can, in a way, or Marcus Silva can do that, and managers can improve as well with experience. But realistically, I don't know how much Bruno Lage is going to improve over an experience over in Brazil. I think it's a very good experience, by the way. Very good experience. A different culture as well. But yeah, I think certain managers need to do that. But do you agree with me about Patrick Vieira? I know we shouldn't speak about Vieira, but do you think he needs to learn from other managers as well?
I think he does, but here's the thing, okay? You forget one massive thing. Where did he start out? At Man City under Pep. So he
but he didn't. He didn't.
No,
he didn't. I'm saying that,
Patrick. He was around. Yes, he did the academy. He did the academy, and they mirrored what the first team did. So
they mirrored what the first team, but he didn't learn under Pep, because Pep was asked this question as well. Pep was asked this question about. I remember Pep was asked this question about Patrick Vieira, but he said no, I don't really know much about his manager, because he wasn't in Pep's camp. Like, there's different. Mikel Arteta learned under Pep Guardiola. Patrick Vieira learned the Man City model rather than the Pep Guardiola model. That's why he didn't learn from Pep Guardiola.
But the Man City model, as we see it now, is the Pep Guardiola model.
Yeah, but Patrick, no, there's a difference. There's a difference there. Because if you learn under Pep, you would know game by game the management, the decisions, the thought process. The Pep Guardiola model for the academy is basically is a certain type of philosophy. You don't learn as much. Like, of course, you do learn a bit, but he didn't learn day by day under Pep Guardiola. Do you get it? Just like Eddie Howe did under, at Atletico Madrid under Diego Simeone. Do you get my point? Like, he wasn't in the academy.
No, you can't do that, because they're the same. No, because Eddie Howe did not work under. He did not work under Simeone. When he went there to study it, he didn't work under. He wasn't assistant manager for him. It's the same as Vieira. I know what you're saying, though. It's the same. He went there to learn what Simeone did. The same Vieira tried to learn what Pep did. I understand it didn't work under that person, but to me, the Vieira and Howe things are very similar. what Howe has done now, has taken what he learned from Simeone and done a great job at Newcastle. But again, go back to your original thought. Should Vieira have taken a step back? I don't know the personality of the man. Maybe he felt like he wanted to get right back into it at Strasbourg and do whatever. But we'll see. We'll see how he does. I mean, we'll see how he does this season. If he flops out again, clearly he's not a great manager or decent manager, right? I mean, this will be his 4th job, 2 in France, 1 in England, and 1 in America. I thought he was very good over here in America. I thought he did a great job past first year, not so good second year, and Nice first year fine, second year bombed out. So let's see how he does. But it'll be interesting to see.
I just quickly, Crane, no one said that. No one's blocking you, bro. It's just a light-hearted joke. Like, if you take everything that we say seriously, then it's not gonna. Trust me. You can't. Yeah, no one's blocking you. You just had your opinion. It's fine.
Oh, so they can joke about me, but I can't joke about them. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, well, that's that's.
And I didn't block the person. I didn't block. But I'm just
no one blocked. Yeah, no one. Just no one.
Right. I mean, but it's funny how
he's joking around, Kareem. Like it's not serious.
And I'm joking like you're joking.
Exactly. Yeah. The same way. No one's serious. No one's serious like that. But yeah, there's actually a few questions that I actually missed, and then we're gonna wrap this up because we went longer than I expected. Paddy McCarthy or Southgate next season? Oh.
By the way, and I think that will happen the season after. He's got to finish the Euros. Is the Euros next season? He'll get. He's got a contract with Southgate through the Euros, which is 2024. Right. He'll be a past manager after that. So yeah, maybe it's McCarthy then Southgate. I'm telling you right now that it's McCarthy.
What about Novia Roy?
Do
you think that's a possibility?
Oh my God, bro. Let's move on. Don't even do that. Don't do that, man. You know what? You don't do that. Not even like half joking, trying to be funny.
No, but I'm not even joking.
No,
I'm actually asking.
I know you know.
Think that's a possibility
in the championship. Yeah, I do think it's in championship.
Oh, come on, man.
In championship.
Come on.
I'm sorry. I'm being negative. It's a joke, man. It's a joke.
Yeah, he put against Hyde somewhere before the season starts. Potentially, maybe midway through the season, but I don't know where. Right now, I just don't see it.
I think he waits for not Tottenham. That's a great question. Who would be a good? Maybe Fulham Fire and Marco Silva. They got the best. I don't know.
I think he goes Fulham. Realistically, I don't know. Maybe I'm just downplaying Fulham a bit. Well, I mean, what's that much different from Fulham and Palace? I guess Palace have that stability and better players. I think.
I'm gonna say go back to Brighton. I knew you wouldn't want that either, so I didn't want to even say that one. What if their manager gets the Barcelona job? Gets like a big job somewhere. Imagine he goes.
Imagine he goes back to Brighton
or Real Madrid job. I don't know. He might get a big job. Who knows in Europe?
Yeah. Or I might just wait. Well, or Crystal Palace. If you talk about big job, yeah, you never know. You never know what could happen. He might be waiting for the Crystal Palace job to take over from Roy.
That'd be interesting.
Exactly.
What would you do to have him? What would you do to have him as your Palace manager right now? Seriously. You know what? He wouldn't be successful at Palace because their philosophy at Palace isn't good. It doesn't work for him. You know what I mean? But he's a great manager.
I think it would work. Their
recruitment is ridiculous. Their recruitment part, their philosophy is
so what are you trying to say that without good recruitment, Potter can't make it, so he's not a good manager?
I think you need to have both the philosophy, which I think Potter had, and recruitment. You can't have one or the other.
But we have good recruitment.
No, we don't. You have to be. You have to.
No. When we do sign players,
that's not how it works, bro. When we do sign, it's not. You can't preface it with that. We signed one player this season, and it was on a free. We signed
no. But I'm talking as a whole.
We signed Ahmed the last window at the last minute, and before last year we signed Sam Johnston, Chris Richards, Malcolm Abui, and Luke Plant, and Doucouré. Right. You want to compare that to Brighton? You want to compare that to Brighton?
No, I'm not comparing to Brighton, but I don't think I'll recruit. The problem is Dougie doesn't have the funds.
That's not good recruitment. Don't do that. You're better than that.
Our recruitment is not bad, though, Patrick. It's not bad.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. You're better than that. If this wasn't Palace, you would say you would say that. Come on, you would say that.
How can a recruitment be bad when we're talking about Doucouré being 70 million price tag that we got after 1 year, Guéhi 60 million, Anderson increased price tag, Elise, Eze. You do miss with some of the signings, and Brighton do miss with a few signings as well. It just they don't get talked about as much. But our recruitment overall under Dougie has been solid.
No, I'm not having that. I'm not saying. I just said I like Dougie. You can't say it's been good. You can't say that. You cannot say that.
Okay, so what do you rate
we don't have a right back, we don't have a decent striker, and we didn't have a midfield until We got Laconga on loan in January.
You don't understand my point.
No,
Yes, no. There's big question marks there, but I'm saying when we do actually sign the players, they're not bad. Like our recruitment's been solid. I'm not saying overall. I'm just talking about the signings. The signings that we've made have actually been solid. I'm not talking about because there's some massive flaws in it. The right back situation, as I will say, but when we do sign the players, it's actually not bad.
Has been, but I'm seriously. Take off the blinkers. You cannot compare it to Brighton because it doesn't compare. How do I say that?
I'm not comparing to Brighton, but
where they finished last year. Well, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about.
Hold on. Actually, in a way, okay. They use a different model to us. They use data and all of that, but we got a lot of good assets that we could sell as well. Even
you know what's funny about you? No, we're not betting that. I agree. You know what's funny about you? You just had the discussion. You forgot yourself 10 minutes ago about we have to expand our horizon, and how come Brighton's so good? Because of South America and Asia, particularly Japan, Matoma.
And
so the reason why it's better because they've expanded there. We don't do that. So how could you go back
in a short span of time? They done there, but we done here. We done perfectly well over here. So I mean, look at the recruitment. Did Brighton sign as good players from the Championship as we've done, or from UK or Europe? You can make that debate. No, they've had that market. We've had this market.
I would much rather do what they do than what we do. Because the player they bought from Ecuador cost like 5-6 million, which is less than Elise cost and less than Eze cost. And I'm telling you right now, their recruitment model, you can argue about what you want. That's fine. It's your opinion. There's no way that you can compare ours to Brighton because Brighton's is better. It just is. And you know what I'm going to do with Tim. We should do a show on this. I'm going to do a deep dive into their recruitment and compare it. You're going to get blown out of water. It's not close. It's not close. That's your Brighton hate, and I get that. That's your Brighton hatred. It's not factual. Their recruitment is better.
Brighton hatred. I couldn't care less about Brighton. Like I don't.
You kind of could. You kind of do.
I'm not really that fussed. I'm not really that fussed about Brighton.
By saying you don't care shows me that you care.
Yeah, I'm talking about. We're gonna wrap this up, but I'm talking about my point is the actual players that were brought in. I'm not talking about the recruitment as a whole. The actual players that were brought in. There's still massive question marks about our recruitment, but the actual players that were brought in have been good under Dougie. They have. If you look at overall, and that's why we're talking about 70 to 80 million pound players. And a few of them. I said this like 5 times, or I'll say it again. How much I do like what Dougie when he gets them over the line. But I'm telling you right now. If I was to, I'm looking at these names, man. They got Facunda Buonate for 5.2 million, bro. And we got Elisa for £8 million. People, you're forgetting that. But that's ridiculous.
Which number is bigger? Their number. I'm saying they're going for less.
So how much are they getting for?
I just said 5.2 million.
Okay, how much are they? So how much is it worth now?
I don't know what it's worth. I don't know.
Is that? Do you think it's worth as much as Elise?
No. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have tremendous upside and.
Yeah, but my point is we've all had them type of signings. We have in recent times when we have made them. But look, we're gonna go back and forth about this.
Bro. Real quick, Facundo Buonate is 18 He's 18 years old from Argentina. He's 18, bro. So my point is they identified these teenagers from South America. Yeah, again, I know Lisa was a teenager when we got him. I'm just saying that. Don't tell me their recruiting isn't better. I'm not saying Elise, Eze, Anderson, and Guéhi are not good signings.
I never said that their recruiting is not bad. Like, I said our recruitment is not bad. That's been my whole point.
And I agree with you. I agree it's not bad, but it's not as good as Brighton's. But you're right, it's not bad. But Brighton's is next level. That you can't argue. And again, I can prove it by the fact they finished where they finished last year because of their recruitment and their manager and their playing style, etc. But I mean, it all goes together. If we had a great manager and great recruiting, I'm sure we could be like Brighton, and that's what we should aspire to be. But we don't. And we talk about that a million times why. So
exactly. And let's end on that as well. Thanks to everyone who's joined us live. If you have done so, and if you have enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button, people. Let's get up to at least 100 likes, and also subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're just joining us now, if you join us late, make sure to check out the whole stream where we spoke about the Crawley game, about some of the performances from there. Also check Doucouré's price tag and what it could potentially mean, and whether Palace are actually serious about selling him, and Mark Guéhi, plus more of the questions answered as well. Thanks to Patrick and everyone who joined us live and watching on replay. And until next time, up the Palace, people, and keep safe.